Travellers are facing significant delays at Sydney and Melbourne Airport ahead of the Easter long weekend. We have our reporters live at the nation's biggest airports with the latest developments. First to Kenny Heatley in Sydney. Kenny, how is it so far this morning?
Good morning, Danica. Well, we're here at the Qantas Terminal T3. It's the domestic terminal and it is busy, but the lines are moving at the moment. All screening security lanes are open. We were just over in Terminal 2 where Virgin and Jetstar were, and it's pretty busy over there. There's lots and lots of people, and they've actually organised a queue to go outside once you've checked in and then back in another way so you can get into the security line. But again, it is moving, but there's lots of people here. 82,000 people expected to travel just today, which is the most passengers they've filtered through the domestic terminals since before the pandemic. We caught up with a couple of passengers earlier this morning.
I've never seen like this ever, yeah. It's really shocking. Could be better organised, that's for sure.
Now, Qantas say that they're dealing with COVID staff shortages of between 20 and 50%. I was here yesterday and one of the main problems was baggage handlers. That's where they're seeing a lot of shortages at the moment. But in terms of flight delays and cancellations, there is not too many of those going on at the moment. And for Jetstar, they're actually using international planes like the ones that you would fly from to London. The Dreamliners, the 787, which has rows of three, then three, with over 300 seats, just to make sure that there's plenty of capacity when they're flying to places like the Gold Coast. So they're using those international flights. Now, the Transport Workers Union was just on Sky News before, and they've been blaming the airlines for not being more organised, knowing that this would be a busy weekend.
Well, they should have been better prepared. There was a very low base, though. When you don't give JobKeeper to the very companies that you're going to rely on to rebuild aviation, you've got a real problem, and we're living that problem as we speak today. But yes, they should have been better prepared. If there was any time in our history when we knew that we were going to be under pressure with labour, with having enough staff at our airports, it's right now in the middle of a pandemic, and preparations haven't been made.
Well, Qantas have responded to that and they've provided Sky News with this statement. They say that they completely reject those claims from the Transport Workers Union, saying the current situation with COVID-related staff shortage is happening across many areas of the aviation industry, including in other airlines, in airport security screening and in other countries. Either way, Danica, it is going to be a busy day. The airlines are urging people to rock up 2 hours early for your flight, at least 2 hours before the flight, and make sure you use the online check-in before you get here. Back to you.
It's looking extremely busy where you are already, Kenny. Jessica Maggio is at Melbourne's Tullamarine Airport this morning. Jessica, how bad is it?
Well, Danica, so far so good. We're not seeing the delays or cancellations that were to be expected, but that might come later in the day. So far, the people that we've spoken to say they've been here for a few minutes, but things are transitioning smoothly and they are managing to get onto their check-in services without any hesitation or without any delay. So far a good sign. It is expected to be the second busiest day in the past 2 years. The first busiest day was last Thursday. Now, that saw around 90,000 travellers travelling through Tullamarine Airport. Today is expected to see around 88,000 travellers, and around 80 of those are expected to be domestic travellers who will be landing for the Easter long weekend or indeed taking off for their destination. But as I say, people here relatively calm. It seems pretty under control at this stage, but the Melbourne Airport CEO spoke last night saying that he is expecting delays and is warning travellers to be prepared.
Yeah, it's been building for the last 3 weeks. Each week has gotten progressively busier as school holidays came on tap, but of course we had the Grand Prix, we had a long weekend. It's just progressively grown. Really exciting to actually see that happen at last after such a long period of not a lot happening at the airport.
Now, those delays obviously due to the fact that there have been staff shortages through COVID. Around 20 to 50% of Qantas staff say they've either been struck out with COVID or as close contacts. Those close contact isolation rules changed for airline staff earlier this week. If they're asymptomatic, they no longer have to isolate for 7 days, so that should alleviate some of the pressure. But again, airport staff are advising residents and travellers to arrive at least 3 hours before international flights and 2 hours for domestic. Danica.
Good advice, Jessica. Thank you.